ESPN 94.1 FM and AM 930 present The Drive.
It is Tuesday, May 20th. Your drive begins now on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. I'm your host, Paul Swann. Our text line this hour is brought to you by Clark's Pump and Shop. 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. Tonight is the night before Marshall baseball takes the field. The Sun Belt Conference tournament already underway. And, of course, these games today do not directly impact Marshall tomorrow. But still, there was a few days ago we were thinking that maybe Marshall will get in as a 10 seed maybe, or maybe a 9 or 8 or a 7. No, Marshall finishing as a 4 seed. And, of course, that avoids the single elimination game. And right now, Texas State and Appalachian State in that first game. It is in the bottom of the fourth now, and Texas State has a 2-run lead over Appalachian State, 2-0. And so Appalachian State, if it can't come back, it will be eliminated from postseason play. And then the game later on this evening will be Georgia Southern versus Arkansas State, and that will follow Texas State and App State. Of course, our game tomorrow is going to be Marshall and Louisiana, and we're going to have that game for you. Steve Cotton, the voice of the herd, he will be live from conference tournament. We'll go on the air. The thing here is, this is going to float just a little bit. This is scheduled for 8:30, so we'll go on the air before that, maybe 8:15 if everything holds, but that could float. We could go on a little bit later because we're going to go on about 15 minutes before first pitch begins, and there's going to be a quick transition from the previous game. Marshall being the last game of the night, there will be some transition between games and broadcast space. Just kind of give you a little the inside baseball, what goes on, putting one of these broadcasts on. So we will go on the air in the vicinity of 8:30. That's what I'm going to say, the vicinity of 8:30, give or take, depending on how fast, how slow things are going at the tournament. And now Marshall's in a situation where it's double elimination. Marshall can lose one and still go on and win this thing. And so if the herd can win and win again, Marshall can work its way to a bye to Saturday and then try to get to Sunday. Marshall's a 4 seed. It's a possibility. Didn't think we'd get to this point so quickly. That's the good thing about how far Marshall has come. Marshall, 31-24. And series sweep over Georgia Southern helps cement its spot in this tournament. Marshall's won 13 of its last 15. That's something we talked about yesterday, but we got to talk about that more because 13 of 15, and Marshall scored 10 runs in 9 of those contests. Marshall's also turned the second most double plays this season at 41. That's right behind Arkansas State's 43. So defense has really played a factor for the Thundering Herd, and Marshall has an opportunity here to start off on the positive side of the bracket against Louisiana. This is at Riverwalk Stadium in Montgomery, Alabama, the minor league team that plays there, the Montgomery Biscuits. I don't know too much about the Biscuits. Now, I like biscuits. I think we all like biscuits. Huntington, the biscuit capital of the world, maybe, with Tudor's Biscuit World, maybe. I don't know too much about the biscuits. However, I'm hoping that if you go to a Montgomery Biscuits game, you can get a biscuit. That would at least be part of the concession package if I'm running this thing. I love minor league baseball. I love some of the names that these teams come up with. And, of course, our very own Tri-State Coalcats will have special appearances as the Huntington Slaw Dogs. So you're going to get a Slaw Dog at the Slaw Dogs game. I would expect you should get able to get a biscuit at Riverwalk Stadium for the Montgomery Biscuits. I don't know too much about them. Now I'm curious about the Montgomery Biscuits. I want to know more about them. So it's a double-A affiliate of Tampa Bay. For those of you that are fans of minor league baseball, it might be in the know or not, but it's an affiliate, double-A affiliate. So some good baseball being played at double-A, obviously. And with the facility hosting the tournament, Troy is the host institution. It should be a fun fun time, I think, for those of you that are making the trip down or trying to at least head down if Marshall can advance to maybe Saturday or Sunday. Yeah, I know these midweek games are really tough sometimes to get to follow the herd. But at this point, if Marshall can start winning out, guarantees itself a spot on Saturday, I bet there could be a huge crowd. I would almost bet money, that if Marshall gets to Saturday, we'll see all of a sudden a lot of herd fans pick up and go, let's make a road trip here. Let's make a road trip and go see the herd play on Saturday at the conference tournament, since that's a good sign that Marshall's playing some good baseball to get to Saturday. So we'll open up our text line this hour for you, 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. Yesterday, we were talking a little bit about what we've got tonight. There's a lot of action tonight. If you're looking for entertainment, and baseball's not going to do it for you, because we've got the Pirates and the Reds. Yesterday was not a pretty game for the Pirates. Game 2 of that's coming up tonight, 6:40. First pitch right here on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. And I know the Guardians and the Twins, that game was suspended in the fourth inning due to rain, leading 2-1. So that game is going to pick back up in about an hour, and then the regularly scheduled game is going to follow there. But we've got NHL and NBA action tonight. Now, the Eastern Conference Finals begin tonight with Florida at Carolina. We're going to go on the air on our sister station, Cat Sports, from 93.3 and 1340 at 7:30 with that game. We're going to have all those games. And then the NBA playoffs, Western Conference Finals, kick off tonight. Minnesota at Oklahoma City. That's going to tip off at about 8:30. Had a texter write in and say, Paul, I'm a fan of mostly Colorado teams. So at this point, I'm hoping for Eastern Conference teams, hockey and basketball. So you are going to be rooting for either Florida or Carolina, or, of course, you're going to be rooting for the Eastern Conference teams, the New York Knicks. Here I am. I never left, but I hadn't been loud about it. I've been a New York Knicks fan since I was in, I believe, the Rick Pitino days. Remember, Rick was the coach. I was a fan. Plus, New York was one of those teams you could play in the video game Double Dribble. Now I'm dating myself. And let me tell you, back in the day, I was a force to be reckoned with for the Nintendo Double Dribble game. You get New York and you could hit threes all day. You get the right spot, you could just hit threes all day long. Now I don't even bother with that stuff anymore. There hasn't been a game that fun. NBA Jam, that was fun, but New York was one of my teams, so I would always play as New York because I could just knock threes down. I was a believer in the Dan D'Antoni system before Dan was a believer in the Dan D'Antoni system, I think, at least. I don't know. Maybe I had some Danalytics going on. I was just knocking. I wasn't going inside. I was just shooting threes. It's a video game. You can do that silly kind of stuff there. You don't have to go inside. So we've got lots of action to talk about. We're going to get into it with you. Our text line one more time, 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. Am I the only one? Was I the only one who remembers playing Double Dribble on the Nintendo back in the day? Did most of you have a Nintendo? Is it just me? More coming up on this edition of The Drive, ESPN 94.1 and AM 930.
It's the Grand Slam sales event at Ironton Automotive, and you're up to bat. Drive one out of here with unbeatable deals on winning lineups of cars, trucks, and SUVs. Slide into a new ride today with easy financing, top dollar trade-ins, and home run savings that'll have you rounding the bases in style. Don't wait, these offers won't last forever. Visit 2125 South 3rd Street in Ironton, Ohio, or online anytime at irontonautomotive.com and score big before this event heads for the fences.
Anyone can choose to make a difference. You can help people succeed, rebuild after disasters, protect the environment, or feed the hungry. Not only will you make a difference for others, but for yourself. You can earn money for college, learn career skills, and make friendships that last a lifetime. Make a difference. Choose your future. Choose AmeriCorps.
Brought to you by Volunteer West Virginia, the West Virginia Broadcasters Association, and this station.
Get ready to hit the road with Gomart. Each month, we're featuring a special item to fuel your journey and score you bonus reward points in our Road to Rewards promotion. Each purchase earns you a token, so load up and keep cruising toward big rewards. Plus, the top 25 token earners each month will receive 5,000 additional bonus reward points. Check the GoMart app to see this month's featured item. And as always, earn additional savings on products store-wide with reward member exclusives. Go to gomart.com for more details.
Get the last roof you'll ever need with steel roofing from Menards. Steel roofing is durable, offering your home the best protection from wind, hail, and fire. Choose from 29 stylish colors that not only enhance the appearance of your home, but will reduce cooling costs and keep your home more comfortable all summer long. Plus, check out our weekly flyer on Menards.com for more great deals happening now.
Save big money at Menards.
No matter where you are in life, Mount West Community and Technical College isn't just about an education. It's a step toward your future. We provide the hands-on support you need with classes that fit your life. At Mount West, we know you by name because here, you're more than just a number. Mount West Community and Technical College, because you matter here. Visit mctc.edu to apply today.
Earn more with 4 at the best community bank in the Kanawha Valley, Poca Valley Bank. Poca Valley Bank is now offering a certificate of deposit special, 10-month APY, annual percentage yield 4%. Take advantage of this great rate to grow your savings. For more information, stop by one of the 8 Poca Valley Bank locations today. Poca Valley Bank, where relationships matter.
Certain terms and conditions apply. Rates based on minimum annual percentage yield, subject to change without notice. Minimum deposit required of $10,000 of new money not currently on deposit with Poca Valley Bank to receive APY. Member FDIC.
Okay, forest animals. Today is a new day. Kids are coming to the forest, and it's up to us to make their visit a good one. Sparrow.
Yes?
Have you practiced the most popular bird songs for the year?
Of course.
Catchy. I like it. Okay, River.
Dude.
How's the temperature?
It's a refreshing 52 degrees, man. Perfect for a little riverside shoeless relaxation.
Ah, good. Owl, you here? Course. Who's asking? I am. Look, you know the drill. Sleep during the day, scare the kids at night. Perfect. I love my job. Oak Tree?
What's up?
Still in the same place I left you last year. That's what I like. Consistency.
Well, it's not like I'm going anywhere for the next couple hundred years.
I know. I love it. Turtle. Turtle.
He's not here yet, man.
He's late every morning. You'd think he would have learned by now to leave the night before our meetings. Okay. Squirrel. Has anybody seen Mr. Squirrel?
The forest has been preparing just for you. Visit a forest near you today. To learn more about cool things to do in the forest, visit discovertheforest.org. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
Why is my son having trouble in school?
Finding lowest airfare to Istanbul.
No, I'm tired of fighting with my son over his homework.
Home, walk, restaurant. Need a review?
No, he's smart, but his mind wanders.
7 wonders of the world.
Why don't you understand me?
I do. I was trying to show how Connor feels every day. Redirecting to understood.org.
Join parents and experts at understood.org, a free online resource about learning and attention issues to help your child thrive.
Brought to you by understood.org and the Ad Council.
This is The Drive on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. Follow at Paul Swann on X for Marshall sports updates and more.
We continue on with this Tuesday, May 20th edition of The Drive on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930 with our text line open and brought to you by Clark's Pump and Shop at 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. Also giving you a 4-pack of tickets to go see the Pirates take on the Milwaukee Brewers. That's coming up on Friday, May 23rd. So I've got a 4-pack of tickets for you. All you have to do to enter and win is go to our text line. And let me know if you want the tickets as well. A lot of people text in, they don't necessarily want the tickets, and that's fine. Everybody can text in. But if you do want the ticket, let me know, and then I'll make sure that you're in the end of show drawing. From our text line, texter says, Paul, Montgomery Biscuits has to be a top-end minor league team name. Rocket City Trash Pandas is my favorite. Angels affiliate. I always use them or the Biscuits in MLB The Show. Can you do that? I haven't played MLB The Show in a long time. I appreciate the text. Now I'm going to have to do that. I'm going to have to get that game, play MLB The Show. That's on PlayStation and Xbox, I think, so I'm good. I would love to do that. The Rocket City Trash Pandas. I absolutely I actually love minor league hockey names. I'm a big fan. Now, of course, I know I'm not gonna get into a long thread here, a stream of consciousness on minor league teams, hockey or baseball. But I was a big fan of the Savannah Bananas. Now everybody's a big fan of the Savannah Bananas, and so I don't know if it's still cool to be a fan. But you're right. Biscuits, that's got to be a top-tier name. Anything named after food is good. Rocket City Trash Pandas is good. Is there another one that we're missing out there? I was always a big fan, and I know, again, we're moving on to different sports. But the Manitoba Moose, that is a hockey team. Big fan of the Manitoba Moose. Great logo. Based in Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada. It competes in the American Hockey League, so I'm a big fan of the Manitoba Moose. Also, I'm not going to lie, I like the Wheeling Nailers, the only professional hockey team in the state of West Virginia, so I've always supported the Nailers. I'm a big fan of the Cincinnati Cyclones, so I do like some of the minor league names that come out. So is there one we're missing? So I don't like boring minor league team names. If it's not interesting, if you don't have a good mascot, you don't have a good hook, you're not even trying. Because it's minor league. It's supposed to be fun. Obviously, it's serious business. But at the same time, it's got to be fun. You got to have a good hook. And so when I heard that we were going to have Slaw Dogs as an alternate name for the Tri-State Coldcats, I was excited for that because I was a big fan of the original push to name the team Huntington Slaw Dogs. Nothing wrong with Tri-State Coldcats, absolutely nothing wrong, but Slaw Dogs. And then you can get a slaw dog at the baseball park during Slaw Dog Day. That's absolutely killer. And unfortunately, Biscuits was taken, so we can't have them be the Huntington Biscuits. But if it was Huntington Biscuits, we would have to have Tudor's Biscuit World in one of the concession areas serving up biscuits, fresh-made Tudor's Biscuits. But instead, we're going to get freshly made slaw dogs at the ballpark when the Coldcats open things up here in a few weeks. 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255 is our text line to be a part of today's show here on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. So if we miss something minor league-wise, top-tier name, hit me with it. What's your favorite? I think right now Trash Pandas is the top one, and then Biscuits is right there with Trash Pandas. Trash Pandas eat a lot of biscuits, I would think. We got some recruiting news. I saw this earlier today, and it's good to see that more is coming out for women's basketball. Sienna Allen picking up an offer from Marshall University today. Allen is a guard. She's 6 foot. She plays with the West Virginia Thunder 17U squad, and she's out of Portsmouth High School. So she picked up an offer from Marshall. Also picked up an offer, it looks like, from Cleveland State. So she's been picking up some attention. And she's local. She's local. State champion. Trojans won the program's first ever state championship, and that was in Division 5. So a local product. I consider Portsmouth local, even though it's Huntington, it's West Virginia. I consider Portsmouth in the circle that you just, I don't know what the mileage is on that circle for women's basketball, but that circle where if it's inside that circle, you better be full press hitting everything, making trips on a daily basis if you have recruiting time to local area high schools, just generating interest. And so if she decides to come to Marshall, there'll be some more interest, obviously, from the Portsmouth area. That's a smart play. I know several coaches go with that philosophy that, hey, we can attract more local players that are Division I caliber and get them to stay home. That'll generate more interest for the program, sell some more tickets. Obviously, if she can play, that's the reason why, but it doesn't hurt to have someone local. So that was interesting seeing that pick up today. So good job for Julie Folks. Hopefully she can land a few more recruits, and we'll see what the class looks like. As soon as that's done, we're going to try to get her on. And tomorrow, it's not going to be recruiting we're going to talk about, but camps are coming up. And for basketball, there are several camps coming up, Cornelius Jackson's basketball camps. And so joining us tomorrow on the show is going to be Neil Skaggs to talk about all of the camps that are coming up. You've got the elite camp coming up, the herd camp, the little herd camp. That's coming up. So we're going to talk to Neil about all of that tomorrow, get you an idea of what camp you might want to take your youngster to. Several camps coming up. These are important. These are great ways to get your kids interested in martial athletics, to get your kids sort of excited about martial athletics. And, of course, it's a great opportunity to see, for some of these sports, hey, which sport does my kid really want to play? If my kid wants to play, my child wants to play a sport, take them to some of these camps, and then you find out, hey, I like baseball. Hey, I like softball. Hey, I like volleyball. Hey, I like basketball. I think I like to do this. I want to do this a little bit more. So great opportunity. Neil joins us tomorrow. We'll talk about that with him. So I'm looking forward to it. 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255 is our text line to be a part of today's show here on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. We're giving you an opportunity to win 4-pack of tickets to go see the Pirates take on the Milwaukee Brewers. That's a Friday game, and I've got a 4-pack for you. All you have to do is text the program. Let me know in the text if you want to enter for the tickets as well. So I'll make sure to put you in the hopper as we will draw for the tickets a little bit later on the show. We'll do that probably after we go off the air. So we'll get more of your texts coming up. And again, I'll give you that number one more time, 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. We'll have an update from the Sun Belt Conference Tournament. The single elimination games are going on right now. Texas State and Appalachian State. That's the first game being played. We'll get you a score update with that, and we'll hear more from you on the text line when we continue with today's edition of The Drive on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930.
Okay, so I'm going to let you in on a little secret. Wendy's has this new Cajun Crunch chicken sandwich. And to be honest, I'm kind of crushing hard on this Sammy. It's packed with bold Cajun flavors and topped with crispy onions for a satisfying crunch. All on Wendy's iconic spicy chicken sandwich. It's honestly kind of my dream sandwich. I hope it likes me back. For a sandwich you'll love, gotta be Wendy's. Open till midnight or later.
Limited time only at participating U.S. Wendy's. Hours may vary by location.
The Pirates take on the Milwaukee Brewers Saturday, May 24th at PNC Park for a 4:05 first pitch. Get down to Federal Street early for a pregame Wiggle Whiskey block party with live music, drink specials, and more. Plus, the first 20,000 fans take home a stylish short-sleeve hoodie presented by RE/MAX Select Realty, featuring the Pirates City Connect look. It's the Bucks and the Brewers, Saturday, May 24th at 4:05 p.m. Get your tickets at pirates.com/promotions.
When the game goes into overtime. But the game goes into overtime. The choice to enjoy is easy. Bud Light, easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Pick up Bud Light at your local convenience store today. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Lowe's knows that no matter your paint or stain project, saving is at the top of your to-do list. Save now with buy one, get one half off select paints, stains, and primers from top brands like Valspar, HGTV Home by Sherwin-Williams, and Cabot via Visa gift card rebate. Find more Memorial Day deals now at Lowe's. We help, you save. Selection varies by location. While supplies last. Discount taken at time of purchase. See sales associate for details. Offer valid 5/15 through 5/28.
Anyone can choose to make a difference. You can help people succeed, rebuild after disasters, protect the environment, or feed the hungry. Not only will you make a difference for others, but for yourself. You can earn money for college, learn career skills, and make friendships that last a lifetime. Make a difference. Choose your future. Choose AmeriCorps.
Brought to you by Volunteer West Virginia, the West Virginia Broadcasters Association, and this station.
Take a look under your bed. Find stuff under there? What about jobs? No? Now try your basement. There's a pair of overalls that overall you're not so into anymore. A perfectly good laptop that hasn't sat in your lap in months. And even more stuff, but still no jobs? Well, you really have both. See, stuff is defined as household articles considered as a group. Sometimes this stuff is no longer needed. Wait, no longer needed? That can't be right. Because remember those jobs you were looking for? Those are really needed, and they're the stuff inside your stuff, even inside that winter coat that moved with you to Phoenix. Our job is to unlock those jobs, and it starts when you donate your stuff to your local Goodwill. Here's how we do it. When you donate to Goodwill, we sell your stuff to provide job training for people right here in your community. So just by teaming up with Goodwill, you help create jobs. And isn't that worth parting with the leftover keytar from your 80s cover band? Goodwill. Donate stuff, create jobs. Find your nearest donation center at goodwill.org. A message from Goodwill and the Ad Council.
I'm Sally, a volunteer at United Way. I'm asking people around the neighborhood what they think this place needs. Excuse me, hi. What do you think this place needs?
I'd like to see more parking.
More playgrounds.
Free movies.
That's easy. Better restaurants.
And you, what do you think this place needs?
This place? Oh, more ice cream trucks.
Okay. How about you?
Wi-Fi everywhere?
I was thinking more money in the pockets of local families come tax time.
Can I change my answer?
I was just kidding about the ice cream.
Oh, that's way better.
Now that you mention it.
When it comes to getting better tax refunds into the hands of local families, what this place needs is you. To donate or volunteer, go to unitedway.org. Because great things happen when we live united. Brought to you by United Way and the Ad Council.
This is The Drive on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. Miss an episode? Catch it anytime on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.
We continue on with this Tuesday edition of The Drive here on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. Our text line brought to you by Clark's Pump and Shop, 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. Also, if you know the secret text line, you know how to get a hold of me. Some people use the secret text line. From the secret text line, Sugarland Space Cowboys. I like that. I like the movie. You remember the movie Space Cowboys? I know we're going to go off on a side trip here, but there was a movie that came out years ago. It was called Space Cowboys. And let me give you the cast of this thing. It came out in 2000. I have now aged myself even further. This movie had the likes of Clint Eastwood, Tommy Lee Jones, James Garner, Donald Sutherland, James Cromwell, William Devane. Those are some big names in this lineup. So if you haven't seen Space Cowboys, it's definitely worth a watch. Let's see, Jay Leno was even in this movie here, but I don't know if the Space Cowboys were named in sort of honor of the movie Space Cowboys. But that's a name. I don't think that I'm familiar with Sugarland Space Cowboys. Of course, you got to throw out the Hickory Crawdads. That came up. Toledo Mud Hens came up as well. Yeah, it's a classic. The Mud Hens. You got to go back a ways, though. I think we all became Toledo fans because a lot of people grew up watching MASH. And, of course, MASH is on somewhere at this very moment, still to this day being broadcast or streamed somewhere. You get the Toledo Mud Hens. Another name that came up, the Akron Rubber Ducks. I'm always good with that. There's the Hickory Crawdads. That came up as well. That's an interesting one there. How about the Lansing Lugnuts? That one came in just now. All right, I like that one. What about this one? Texter said the El Paso Chihuahuas. Okay, I'm liking that a lot. El Paso Chihuahuas, that's going to have to go top tier for me. Someone said the Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp is another one. I like that. Now, can I get some Jumbo Shrimp at the game? See, that's the thing. If you have a food in your logo, or if you're like naming yourself after a food, you got to have it there. So if I go to a Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp game, I better get some really good shrimp. Same thing with Montgomery. You go to a biscuits game, I better be able to get some biscuits there. Here's one that came up. Did we say Modesto Nuts? I don't think we've mentioned them yet. That's a good one. Someone mentioned Asheville Tourist. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I like that one. That's okay, but I don't know if it's up there with some of these. I mean, Chihuahuas is pretty solid right now. Space Cowboys is pretty good. Biscuits has got to be elite. Trash Panda is definitely elite. Here's one. Texture says, Paul, the Hartford Yard Goats. Okay, I'm going to give that almost elite status as well. The Yard Goats and the Sugarland Space Cowboys. Makes perfect sense. AAA affiliate of the Houston Astros Major League Baseball team, Texture says. So there's some good names out there. Are we missing anything? Give me a text, 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. Texture said as well, I got a picture of a Marshall baseball player. So I haven't played the show in a long time, and I knew you could do this, but you can make a uniform in the game. You can play as anyone as long as you make it, but you make a player and join a minor league team and work your way up. Very fun. The Appalachian League featured in the show, I mean, it's doable, right? Has someone come up with a Tri-State Coalcats team you can download? Has anyone done that yet? And if so, have you sent that link over to our general manager, Christian Palmer? Because I'm sure he'd play. If he had time, he'd play the heck out of that on the PlayStation or the Xbox. 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. Texture says, it's not featured, but people have made it. Okay. I need this game. Anyone wants to gift me this game, I need this game. I will play minor league baseball teams only, but I need this game. It's the same thing. I've got the NHL game, and I will play as the minor league teams. It's more fun that way. So the text line's still open for you. We're having fun today on this Tuesday edition, 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. And, of course, Marshall baseball coming up tomorrow. We'll have that game for you, 8:30, we hope, right here. And, of course, you can listen to it. All you have to do is listen to it on your radio dial. You can also stream it. Go to our website, wrvc.com. You can download the app right there. It's real simple. It's free. So you can listen to it on your phone. You can listen to it on your web browser. You can listen to it anywhere. You can open up the app or the web stream, and you can listen to the game that way. And, of course, we'll have it on the radio. And, again, 8:30 tentatively. It could be a little bit later, depends on how much time is left between games. So we'll try to get you on the air as soon as we possibly can. So Steve Cotton's already in Alabama, and I'm sure he's enjoying conference baseball, which is happening right now. And we go to, I believe we're in the we're in the middle of the sixth now, and it is Texas State still leading Appalachian State 2-0. Later on this evening, it's going to be Georgia Southern versus Arkansas State. Then tomorrow, it will start with Old Dominion versus Troy, and then Southern Miss and Coastal Carolina are awaiting opponents. And then the final game of the night is going to be Louisiana versus Marshall. And again, this is double elimination. So no matter what happens tonight, tomorrow, the next night, Marshall has to lose 2 before it's done. Louisiana lost to Arkansas State in Lafayette in its final series of the season. The Cajuns are good, though. They've got 93 stolen bases. That's almost 2 a game. And they're looking at Tate Hess, probably starter for the Cajuns. He's got a 6-2 record, 19 appearances, 5 starts, 63 strikeouts, and 55-plus innings. So we'll find out what the Herd's going to do tomorrow. And again, we'll have that game for you right here on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930, as well as Pirates baseball tonight, 6:40 against the Reds, looking to bounce back from an embarrassing performance last night. Stanley Cup action tonight on Cat Sports in 93.3 and 1340. Florida takes on Carolina, 7:30 airtime, 8 o'clock face-off. And then Minnesota and Oklahoma City coming up tonight, 8:30, as the NBA playoffs on the Western Conference side of things get underway. More time for your text coming up, 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. This is The Drive on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930.
Hurt at work? Tom Boggs is here for you in Huntington, and he's brought the expertise of Warner Law Offices with him.
Call 345-6789.
Here's another Kendra Communications Community Chatter Project Hope for Women and Children, hosting its second annual fundraiser, Hope Blooms, at 11 a.m. Saturday, June 14th at the Marshall Health Network Arena Grand Ballroom at 1 Civic Center Plaza. For information, call 304-781-4444.
This Kenner Communications Community Chatter brought to you by TaxMasters ProBooks, your tax and bookkeeping specialist. Visit TaxMastersProBooks.com or call 740-867-8333.
My perfect day has sand, salt water, and friends. But my moderate to severe plaque psoriasis can take me out of the moment. Now I'm all in with clearer skin thanks to Skyrizi. Risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy. With Skyrizi, most people saw 90% clearer skin, and many were even 100% plaque-free at 4 months. Skyrizi is just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines.
Thanks to Skyrizi, there's nothing on my skin, and that means everything. Ask your doctor about Skyrizi, the #1 dermatologist-prescribed biologic in psoriasis. Visit Skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKYRIZI to learn more.
Okay, forest animals, today is a new day. Kids are coming to the forest, and it's up to us to make their visit a good one. Sparrow.
Yes?
Have you practiced the most popular bird songs for the year?
Of course.
Catchy. I like it. Okay, River.
Dude.
How's the temperature?
It's a refreshing 52 degrees, man. Perfect for a little riverside shoeless relaxation.
Ah, good. Owl, you here? Course. Who's asking? I am. Look, you know the drill. Sleep during the day, scare the kids at night. Perfect. I love my job. Oak Tree?
Sup?
Still in the same place I left you last year. That's what I like. Consistency.
Well, it's not like I'm going anywhere for the next couple hundred years.
I know. I love it. Turtle. Turtle.
He's not here yet, man.
He's late every morning. You'd think he would have learned by now to leave the night before our meetings. Okay. Squirrel. Has anybody seen Mr. Squirrel?
The Forest has been preparing just for you. Visit a forest near you today. To learn more about cool things to do in the forest, visit discovertheforest.org. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
Take a look under your bed. Find stuff under there? What about jobs? No? Now try your basement. There's a pair of overalls that overall you're not so into anymore. A perfectly good laptop that hasn't sat in your lap in months. And even more stuff, but still no jobs? Well, you really have both. See, stuff is defined as household articles considered as a group. Sometimes this stuff is no longer needed. Wait, no longer needed? That can't be right. Because remember those jobs you were looking for? Those are really needed, and they're the stuff inside your stuff. Even inside that winter coat that moved with you to Phoenix. Our job is to unlock those jobs, and it starts when you donate your stuff to your local Goodwill. Here's how we do it. When you donate to Goodwill, we sell your stuff to provide job training for people right here in your community. So just by teaming up with Goodwill, you help create jobs. And isn't that worth parting with the leftover guitar from your 80s cover band? Goodwill. Donate stuff, create jobs. Find your nearest donation center at goodwill.org. A message from Goodwill and the Ad Council.
How was your day? What did you do in school? I'm Dale Lee, president of the West Virginia Education Association. And these 2 simple questions can encourage learning in your home. Showing interest and asking about the school day can help motivate your children and keep them excited about learning. So stay involved, stay curious, and ask specific questions. Student success involves the whole family.
A message from the West Virginia Education Association.
Hi, this is Dave Wilson, host of Metro News Talkline, and you're listening to The Drive with Paul Swann on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930.
Thank you, Dave. Don't forget, tomorrow morning, 10:06, Talkline. Dave Wilson will get you caught up on everything happening in the state. It's right here, exclusively on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. Our text line this hour is brought to you by Clark's Pump and Shop at 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. Marshall baseball tomorrow. Thundering Herd getting sent to take on Louisiana, and that's going to be approximately 8:30. You can listen to it live on the radio, stream it on our app, or at our website at WRVC.com. We've been keeping an eye on the first game of the tournament as Texas State and App State playing in the elimination game. Texas State has a 2-0 lead over Appalachian State. We're in the bottom of the 6th. Following that, it'll be Georgia Southern versus Arkansas State. Both those games are going to be on ESPN+. Marshall's game tomorrow. We'll have it for you radio side so you can hear the voice of the herd. Steve Cotton take you the entirety of the tournament. Should be a fun one tomorrow. I'm absolutely looking forward to watching it and listening to it as well. Since it's on, actually, if I can get it just right, I can sometimes match up the radio stream to the actual TV stream. I can sync it up just about right there. So that's partially what I'll be doing. Of course, we'll be watching a lot of basketball and the NHL for the next few days. So there's a lot going on there. And we'll hopefully get some more news out of the, get this. I don't know if you've been following this. Hopefully the NFL won't come up with too many crazy ideas. You know what happens when they get together and start voting on things. The owners have unanimously approved permission for players to participate in flag football for the 2028 Olympics. So now, here's what that means. The league is going to work with the Players Association to work out the safety provisions and, of course, the scheduling logistics to make this possible. This is going to happen before the next Summer Games, obviously, and that's going to be in LA. There's been a lot of talk. Players have wanted to actually represent their country and the Olympics. And now, here's the interesting thing. If I read this correctly, if I understand correctly, no more than one player per NFL club would be allowed. So there's going to be a 10-player Olympic roster, which will be selected by the national committee for each country, with 6 teams each in separate tournaments for men and women. It's a 5-on-5 competition on a 50-yard field. And so they could possibly play the gold medal game right before training camp. I'm sure there's going to be a list that's going to be very long of players that actually want to do this. Could you imagine you are playing a flag football game for your country and you look up and there's, I don't know, maybe your quarterback's Joe Burrow, or maybe Jamar Chase is your wide receiver. Could you imagine? And it's going to be the best NFL players out there playing flag. So now, if you get a speedy wide receiver, you're going to have someone who's speedy that can keep up with them. And you know the United States is going to have to be favored in this, right? This is just go ahead, give the gold to the United States now. This should be a United States gold automatically. But I like the rule, no more than one player per NFL club. So it's going to be an elite roster of players that want to play in this. They're also still talking about the tush push. Don't we have more pressing rules to look at? Don't we have more pressing issues to be involved with instead of looking at the tush push? And it's sour grapes to me, but there's potential study for injury risk. It's obviously a very effective weapon. If you're trying to stop, it's very effective. With everything, though, you figure it out. Remember, we thought you can't stop the Wildcat. Yeah, you can stop the Wildcat. It's just another play now. And if you're good at executing it, that's one thing. And if you see it, you spot it, you can stop it or at least minimize it. The Packers, of course, obviously one of the teams that hate the tush push, lost to the Eagles in the first round of the playoff last season, among several teams voicing don't like it. They're grumbling right now, because the quarterback sneak has basically turned into a more effective weapon. It's like a scrum. That was one way it was described. A couple stories I've been reading about it. And player safety and pace of play being one of the reasons why this has come out. Absolutely, it's a very effective weapon. Also, here's one that I don't like. This is, I think, devaluing division winners. So for seeding here, there's going to be further discussion on the seeding rules. The order will be based strictly on overall winning percentage rather than a division winner getting a guaranteed spot. Guaranteed spot, first 4 spots go to division winners. And so division winners would no longer get the automatic home game. If you are a division winner, you've earned that spot. But the NFL looking at seeding based on record. I get it. If all things being equal, I would understand it. But every team doesn't play every team. So I would think that you would want to reward the division winner. I mean, what's the point of winning the division? Yeah, I mean, usually the division winner is going to have a high enough record to get in. If you're in a competitive division, though, what if you're in a competitive division and your second place team in your division, or maybe even your third place team in your division, is better than the division winner and another side of the. So you could have. I mean, we've had situations before where we've seen the Bengals, the Steelers, and the Ravens all get in because they were the better teams, and the wild card, of course, proved that out. So now you could see the Bengals maybe supersede a team if it's not the division winner because it's got a better record than a division winner. So you're rewarding the season, but I think you should also, in some way, reward the division championship. It should mean something. Hey, AFC North champions, that should mean something a little bit more. This is not college. This is pro, and I think divisions should matter. I think the season should matter, and there's no taking that away from anyone, but the division should matter. You did everything you were supposed to do to win the division. And, of course, I can't see a scenario where a division winner is left out. I don't think that that's a realistic on a yearly basis scenario. But still, if you're going to seed this thing, I think division winners should have preference because you won the division. But I see where we're going here. And I would like to see some shakeup here with the seeding of the Stanley Cup. I would like the top team. You got 16 teams. One plays 8, 2 plays 7. Or if you're doing a situation here where, you've got two sides. So 1-8, 2-7, 3-6, 4-5. I think that would make for a fair way to do the bracket. And the NFL division winners get the host. And then you go to the higher seed. So if you're seeded 1 through 4 as a division winner, and then you've got the wild cards, that's how it works. But you're reseeding here based on record. So 1 through 4 is not going to be your division winner. And I think that partially devalues the division championship just a little bit. It's not a situation where we're going divisionless, where everyone is competing for the best record instead of winning your division. And there's some fun in playing for a division championship because you've got those automatic rivalries. I think, again, Bengals-Browns, Bengals-Steelers, Bengals-Ravens, Steelers-Browns, Steelers-Ravens, Ravens-Browns. Those are some captivating games because it's motivated, 1, geography, 2, familiarity, but that's brought on because the value of the division. You want to win your division games. That's going to do it for this edition. Thanks for being a part of it today here on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. We will be back with you tomorrow. We've got baseball action coming up tonight. The Pirates taking on the Reds. 6:40 first pitch, and then Thundering Herd in action tomorrow. Voice of the Herd, Steve Cotton, will bring you all the sights and sounds from Montgomery, Alabama, as the Herd looking to play in its first Sun Belt Conference tournament, and that gets underway. And we'll have all those games right here on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. Have a great night, everyone.
Broadcasting from the Dave & Buster's studios. Eat, drink, play, and watch at Dave & Buster's in the Huntington Mall. ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. WRBC and W231BS Huntington.